All right, let's get into it. This is a story about how a company completely took over an industry not by inventing some wild new thing, but by focusing on one simple, powerful idea. Just don't crash. You know the feeling, right? You're trying to buy concert tickets the second they go on sale, and the site dies. It's Black Friday, you've got the perfect deal in your cart, and poof, it's gone. It is one of the most maddening things when the one thing you need to work breaks under pressure. Okay, now imagine that same frustration, but there are potentially millions of dollars on the line, and the market is moving like crazy. That was the entire crypto world back in 2017. Everyone was feeling the pain. But one guy wasn't just feeling it, he knew exactly what was broken under the hood. So to really appreciate the solution, we first have to understand just how chaotic things were. Let's take a look at what it was actually like to trade crypto back in 2017. It was, to put it mildly, the Wild West. See, the exchange problem wasn't just one thing. It was, well, everything falling apart at once. At the heart of any exchange is its matching engine. That's the brain that pairs buyers and sellers instantly. And in 2017, these engines were terrible. Orders would get stuck or not go through at all. The sites would crash constantly, especially when the market got volatile, which, of course, is when you need them most. This created awful liquidity and an experience that was just a total nightmare. And this really is the key. It's not like nobody had built a crypto exchange before. You had places like Bitstamp, Kraken, Poloniex. They were out there, but they were fragile. They were built like small websites, not like high-performance financial systems. So when the big waves of traffic came, they just died. So who was the person who saw this all so clearly? Enter our main character, Changpeng Zhao, or as most people know him, CZ. And what's so interesting is that his story doesn't start with him being some crypto fanatic. It starts with him as a very specific type of engineer. This is probably the most important detail in the whole story. He wasn't a crypto person who learned how to code. He was a world-class engineer who built high-speed trading systems for a living, who then happened to find his way into crypto. And I mean, just look at this resume. He didn't just have a generic tech background. He built systems for the Tokyo Stock Exchange. He worked at Bloomberg. You have to understand, his entire world was about solving the core problems of finance. He was obsessed with latency, shaving milliseconds off of transactions. He knew how to build massive order books that could handle millions of updates a second without breaking a sweat. That's what we call high throughput. And critically, he understood all the failure models, all the ways these systems break at scale. So when CC got into crypto himself, he felt the same pain as everybody else. He'd try to place an order and it would disappear. He'd watch the website freeze during a price swing. But the difference was, when he looked at the problem, he didn't see a crypto problem. He saw an engineering problem. And this was the light bulb moment. He realized these crypto exchanges were being built by early crypto adopters, not by seasoned exchange engineers. They had weak matching engines and architectures that just weren't designed for scale. He knew, from his past life, that these were solved problems. You just had to apply the right blueprints. And that brings us to his solution. He didn't try to build the exchange with the most bells and whistles. Nope. He set out to build the one that just worked, the one that was ridiculously fast. And this is what they launched. Binance version 1 was almost brutally simple. It was just a spot exchange. The UI was nothing special. All the magic, all the focus was on what was happening behind the curtain. I mean, look at the trade-off here. They completely ignored all the fancy stuff. No futures, no margin trading, no complex charts. That could all come later. What they did have was the engine. A high-performance matching engine that could handle a fire hose of transactions, a centralized order book to keep latency super low, and an obsessive, relentless focus on uptime. And here's the real secret sauce, the core architectural decision that made it all possible. They decided that all the fast-paced action, the buying, the selling, the order matching, it would all happen off-chain, inside their own super-fast, centralized servers. The blockchain, which is much slower, was only used for deposits and withdrawals. That's how they got the speed of a Wall Street firm. So the stage is set. They've built this incredibly robust, minimalist, high-performance machine. But now it had to face the ultimate test. And, well, the perfect storm was just around the corner. And wow, what a test it was. Binance launches in July of 2017. Just a few months later, the massive crypto bull run kicks off. Prices are going parabolic. Millions of new users are flooding in. And just as predicted, one by one, the other exchanges start to buckle and crash under the insane load. All of them, except one. Binance just kept running. And that's really the whole story right there. Their best feature wasn't a feature at all. It was reliability. At the exact moment of maximum chaos, when everyone was desperate to find an exchange that simply worked, Binance was the only one left standing. That built more trust in a few weeks than years of marketing ever could. Uptime was their killer app. And that stability kicked off this incredibly powerful cycle, what we call a liquidity flywheel. It works like this. Step 1, a fast, reliable exchange attracts frustrated traders from other platforms. Step 2, more traders on the platform means more orders, which creates deep liquidity. Step 3, when you have deep liquidity, the prices are better and more stable. And step 4, better prices attract even more traders. You see, once that flywheel starts spinning, it is incredibly difficult for anyone else to catch up. So, when you boil it all down, what's the actual lesson here? What's the formula that made this all happen? I think this is the real takeaway. Their victory wasn't about radical invention. It was about brilliant execution. They took an idea that already existed, a crypto exchange, and they were the first to apply serious, battle-tested systems engineering to make it work reliably at a massive scale. And this just sums it up perfectly. You had CZ's unique engineering skill from traditional finance. You had the very real pain that every single trader was feeling. And you had the perfect timing of that massive 2017 bull run to act as the ultimate stress test. When you get those three things to line up, you don't just get a new company, you get a revolution. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. At its core, Binance just solved a boring back-end engineering problem, making a system fast and reliable. So it makes you wonder, right? What other frustrating, unglamorous problems are out there right now that are just waiting for the right engineering solution to completely change the game?